Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you watched and understood the previous chapters of this Autocad tutorial series. If you haven't watched it yet, you can tap the I at the top of the screen to watch it right now. Just a quick revision. In the previous videos, we learned about all the toolbars and the tools that is required to draft a plan or draw anything in AutoCAD. In today's video, I'll teach you how to draft a plan, a full-fledged plan. I'll show you while I draft it. If while watching the video you have any queries or doubts, do comment down below and I'll discuss them in the next video. You can also DM me on Instagram or email, and both the links are given in the description box below. So let's get started with today's video. So over here I have an existing floor plan from a project a few months back. I drafted it and I'll be keeping this plan as a reference. This is a basic 2 BHK plan with a lawn and attached washrooms and everything. So we will be replicating the same plan over here on the right hand side screen. I'm keeping this as a reference for you to understand what's going on. Okay, so whenever you start drafting a plan, it is always advised that you pick a start point. So you pick a corner. As you can see that this plan is fairly a rectangle, so we won't be drafting the deck. Okay, we will be ignoring the deck for now. Okay, so this part is fairly a rectangular plan, and what we'll do is, so it is always advised that you start from a corner point. So it may be corner like from the bottom left or the top left, top right. That is totally depends upon you, that where do you choose to start your plan. So when we start our plan, it's like an radius, it extends like a radius. So when we started from a corner, we get all the components, almost everything covered while we draft it, and we don't get any issues or drafting errors if we do that. Whenever we start designing something, okay, we will always start our process by sketching it out on a piece of paper to check, to finalize before finalizing the design. So we will do the layouts, we'll do the zoning and sketch it out. So consider the drawing over here as a sketch, and then we'll be replicating the exact same thing on the right hand side of the screen. Whenever we start to draft a plan, as we are drafting a plan over here, what we'll have to do is we have to pick a corner. So this is a fairly rectangular plan, so it will be pretty much easier for you to understand. So I prefer always to select the bottom left point of the drawing. So you will understand why I'm saying that, because then you cover up everything. You start with a, it's like starting with a radius and then moving, expanding forward. Okay, so what we'll do is, the first thing for starting a drawing is to draw a reference line. We studied about the construction line and the rays in the previous chapters. So similarly, over here I'll be choosing a ray and not a construction line, because the construction line will obstruct the drawing. So let me start by selecting a ray. I'll select a specific point and then draw a horizontal line and then draw a vertical line. Okay, so this is the point. Now everything that I'll be drawing would be inside this quadrant. Now over here you see I have given dimensions to all the rooms and the text as well. In this drawing you will see that the outer walls are thicker like we usually do, and the inner walls are partitioned walls. So the outer walls that I have taken are 23 centimeters, that is 230 mm, and the inner walls are 115 mm. Okay, so what will happen is, after you select the center, after you select your corner point, we have to spread it around the radius. So what we do is we either select the horizontal walls first or the vertical walls first. So over here what you will see is that the horizontal walls are pretty less, so it's a linear plan, so it will be easy to draw the horizontal lines first, and then we will move to the vertical lines. What we'll need to do is, you see, after we draw the corner point, we have to give the wall thickness. So the wall thickness is 23 centimeter or 230 mm. Okay, so this drawing is in meters, so I'll be drawing offset, enter, and then 0.23, enter, and then I'll give the offset on both ends because the wall thickness is running around both the ends. After selecting this offset, we will continue with all the horizontal lines first, with all the horizontal walls first. Now, as you can see, there is a small horizontal wall over here as well. So we'll check the dimensions. So what I'll do is I'll lock this layer because it's interrupting us. Okay, so I'm sorry, this also got locked. We'll move it to the walls layer. Okay, and then we will lock this. And I'll turn off the line weights so that it won't create any confusion. Okay, now after doing this, you can see over here the height of this wall from this point to this inner wall is 1.77 meters. So we will offset it accordingly. So 1.77, enter, and then offset it. Now I'll give the thickness of 0.115, that is 115 mm, so it will be in meters, it will be 0.115. After that, you see it is 2.03, so I'll draw that. So 2.03 meters and offset it. Again, the offset of 0.115, that is our wall thickness. Okay, now from over here to here it is 4.54 meters. So whenever we give the dimensions, it is always horizontal dimension first and vertical dimension later. So the 4.54 meters dimension is this length, okay, the vertical distance. So we'll enter 4.54, enter, and then give the offset. Now, and close it with the double wall, 0.23 wall. Okay, so our horizontal walls are now ready. Okay, so now in order to not create a confusion, we will just trim this off because we don't have to go any further that point right now, correct? Now what will happen is, okay, let me do this. I'll align this over here as well. Now we will start by drawing the vertical walls. So the first vertical wall is this one, okay, and I see this is at a distance of 2.77 meters. So I'll offset it, enter, and then 2.77, enter, and give the offset. Now again, a wall thickness of 0.115, enter. Now the second wall over here is this wall, so it will be 4.77 from this inner wall, so it will be offset 4.77, enter, and then wall. Now over here what we see is this wall, we don't require it in this portion, we just need it up till here. So what we'll do is we'll just trim it out so that it doesn't create a confusion later. And now we will close this with 0.23, enter. Now similarly, we don't need these walls in this region, so we'll trim that out as well. Let's do that. Okay, and then erase this as well. Okay, now comes this wall which is at a distance of 4.8 meters. So we'll say enter, and 4.8, enter, and this, and then give an offset of 0.115. So this is how we will draw the walls. Then comes the kitchen wall at 3.27, enter, and then the wall thickness of 23 centimeters, that is 0.23 meters. So this is our kitchen. Now you see, after this we don't need any walls, correct? So we'll just trim this out. Now we will move forward over here at the upper region of the drawing. Now you see, as I told you, when you select the center, it is easy to grow as like a circle or easy to grow in a quadrant. Okay, so that's why it is always advised to do that. Now over here we don't have the dimensions, so let's measure it. So let me check the dimension. So dimensions command, to check the dimension command is DLI, enter. So it will be from one point to another, and you see it is 3.14. So I'll select offset, enter, 3.14, enter, and then again the wall. From this wall to the dining room, after this wall comes the dining room, which is 2.7. Okay, so enter, 2.7, enter. Okay, and then comes the living room, which is 3.42. Okay, so we'll draw that. And then comes our wall thickness. Okay, so this is our basic structure, a rough structure of our plan. Okay, so just to know where the rooms are. Now after this comes our balcony, that is at a distance of 2.5 meters, so we will take that as well. So offset 2.5, enter. Okay, now we don't need anything else after that, so we'll just trim it out. Okay, so this is the basic plan. Now we will start with the finishing of it. Okay, so let's see. Again, similar thing, start from the corner point. Now we want these walls to be continuous, correct? So we will give the trim command, that is TR, enter, and we'll just trim the intersection point so that everything should be like a proper clean drawing with no drafting errors. Okay, so okay, I think we made a mistake over here. Oh god. So trim this out, trim this, and you see over here there is a notch. The wall is not continuous, so we will have to trim this part out, and then we'll trim the small lines. So now what you will observe is that this wall has a thickness of 230 mm, but over here we have drawn it as 115 mm, so we will give it a thickness of 230. So offset 0.23, enter, and then select this. So this wall will be trimmed from here. Then give this an extend command, EX, enter, use this wall with a line. Okay, this is not necessary. And okay, from this part out. Now you see there is an error, not an error, but you see there is a passage over here. So that passage we will measure. So here it is 1.45 meters. So I'll select O, enter, 1.45, enter, and then give it an offset. Okay, but it is just the offset for the passage, it's not for the balcony. So for the walls it is an offset of 0.9 meters. So what we'll do is offset 0.9, enter, give it. Now we'll extend it at both ways and then trim this part out by holding the shift key. So okay, now what has happened is we don't want this line. Okay, so we'll trim it out because there is a door, right? And now after we trim it out, these two lines got disconnected, so we can't just do it and then separate it out. So what we'll do is we'll put a join command, that is J enter. So J enter is join. Select the two lines that you want to join and click enter, and it will be joined into a single line. Similarly do that over here as well. J enter, select the two lines and enter. Okay, so this is the basic plan with the walls. Now we'll move forward and learn how to put the doors, windows and steps. In order to draw the windows, again we'll do the same thing. We will start by this wall. Okay, so here it is at the midpoint, middle of the wall, this window for both the toilets. So we'll measure what is the width of the window, and it is 0.6 meters. So what we'll do is we'll take a midpoint and give an offset of 0.3 from on both ends because it is 0.6 and the center. Okay, and that's so similarly over here as well we'll do the same things. So first we have to create the niche in the wall in order to put our windows. Okay, now this window, let's see the dimensions. So DLI, enter, 0.75, and from here it is 0.6. So it's not at the center of the wall. So let's see, we'll extend both of these and then give an offset of 0.6 from this side, and then for 0.75 from the other side. We'll trim it out and it's done, and trim everything else. So this window notch is ready. So similarly I'll create the window notches on all the sides. So guys, in this video we have learned how to draft walls, how to offset, how to take the dimensions, how to draw windows into a plan. But the next things, that are the doors, the steps, the furnishing and all the other detailings, we will be studying in part 2 of this video. I would have taught you in this video itself, but it will be too much overwhelming and then you'll get bored. So let's not stretch it. Let's continue in the next video. Till then, watch the previous videos. If you have any doubt, do comment down below and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay home, stay safe. Bye.